Get as much education as you can, but even more important than that, get as much experience as you can.
The quarterback position is so deep. I don't know who's going to win the job, but
And if you win your conference now, you're basically automatically in the 12-team playoff, but you can't.
What's up, everybody? Christian Ballard here, checking in. Episode 45 of the Christian Ballard Show is here on April 1st, April Fool's. Not that I really celebrate that too much because I feel like I'm not saying pranking is childish, although depending on the prank, I guess. But overall, I don't know. It's not for me. I've never been good at it, and I don't like to get pranked. So, um, it is what it is there. But tonight, it's kind of a late edition. It's only 8 o'clock Eastern time, not even that. Um, we already got Dominic in the back room. I want to preview the men's Final Four, take some calls, stuff like that. Uh, and, maybe we'll talk some college football too. Well, we will. There's new tampering penalties within the NCAA. Uh, and we'll get to you, Dominic, soon, I promise. But I want to talk about this. The Triple Option is this podcast and show with Mark Ingram from Alabama, the former Heisman winner, Urban Meyer, and I'm trying to think of who else is on there. But I guess they had put this out today, and I know it's April Fool's. I had to do a little bit more research in regards to this topic just to make sure it wasn't like a prank or something. But let me share the screen this, and this was from multiple sources too. Um, this is from newsday.com, which again, I don't know if this is a reliable source, but I think CBS and Fox and everybody kind of put it out. NCAA approves suspensions for coaches and fines schools that take in ghost transfers. All right. Well, let me full screen this. We'll look at this. I think ghost transfers are like, well, I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of reading this alongside with you guys. So I don't know what a ghost transfer is. It sounds like a stupid term, but let's see what it has to say. Basically, it looks like it's saying that a ghost transfer is like someone that doesn't go through the portal process correctly. So the NCAA Division One cabinet on Wednesday, that would have been today, approved emergency legislation that will severely penalize coaches in schools that sign, add to the roster, or allow athletic participation by an athlete in any sport who hasn't yet gone through the portal process. Penalties include a suspension of the head coach for 50% of a season and a fine amounting to 20% of that sport's budget. The rule change, which was initially proposed by the FBS Oversight Committee, has been adopted for all sports in Division One, is effective immediately, and applies to all transfers on or after February 25th of this year, 2026. Clark Lee was asked about it, the Vanderbilt coach, the head coach. He said, I am grateful the D1 cabinet approved the FBS Oversight Committee's recommendation to impose significant penalties on head coaches and programs who circumvent transfer rules, along with immediate accountability. He went on to say, he said, this is a necessary step to address a critical roster management issue facing our sport and to protect the integrity of football's transfer window. The ghost transfers issue has been on the NCAA's radar since former Wisconsin defensive back Xavier Lucas transferred to Miami without entering the portal in January 2025. Quarterback Jake Retzlaff withdrew from BYU and walked on at Tulane in July. That's another good example there. So they're basically trying to basically, if you screw up and don't go through the process of the portal, then well, I guess it would penalize suspension of the head coach for half a season and a fine for 20% of that sports budget for the university, right? Because you got to think the universities have to sign off on these players that are trying to transfer. If you let a player um transfer over to you without going through the whole process, number one, it's idiotic. Number two, uh you're going to have to face penalties. It's fine and suspension of the head coach for 50% of a season, half a season, and 20% of your sports budget. Guarantee you there's a lot of schools out there that can't afford to lose 20% of your budget. Guarantee you that. And Georgia, Alabama, big name brands and schools don't think you got deep pockets and can get away with it just like that. Oh, we can afford to lose 20% of our budget. Can you? Maybe. Maybe not. What about the part about your head coach being out for half a season? Do you trust Georgia without Kirby Smart? Do you trust Alabama without Kalen DeBoer? What about Clemson without Dabo? These are just guys you want to think about, programs you want to think about when it comes to this. So, got to hear from you guys on this in the comments section. Again, I get this from newsday.com, news source that haven't really heard of, but I did kind of go through and read up on it, and it came back through on the triple option show with Urban Meyer, Mark Ingram, guys like that. So, anyway. All right. Dominic, what's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
Man, I've been hanging in there, I've been taking it easy because this Saturday I'm headed to Nationals Park.
On Final Four Saturday?
Yes.
Dang. You're going to National Park. Which one?
For the Nationals and the Dodgers game on Saturday.
Oh, Nationals Park for the Washington Nationals. Okay. Well, cool.
I know
That'll be
it's
fun.
on Final Four Saturday, but yeah, I might have to miss out on that.
Can't miss the game, right? You can't miss that though. What time's it the start?
The game is at 4:05, so
You could get out in time for Michigan, Arizona though.
yeah,
Because that's not till 8:50.
Yeah, speaking of which, I actually want to talk about the men's Final Four for a moment, really quick.
Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's talk about it.
So
who you got winning?
Let's see.
We still got our we still got our BSM champion in Arizona. And I think we had Illinois and Michigan in the Final Four somewhere. I'm not sure. In one of our brackets, at least. But anyways, go on.
So, up first, we have UConn and Illinois. Oh, boy. This right here. I did not expect UConn, I did not expect Illinois to make it to the Final Four. I am stunned. Aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I had in the BSM official bracket, we had St. John's in this game to win it, by the way, and make the championship. You and I picked that. But of course, they got eliminated in the Sweet 16 from Duke. Again, I mean, I think the only team, let me check, but I'm pretty sure Arizona might be the only team in the Final Four that we have. I could be wrong. They're our national championship pick for the BSN bracket. And then, we got, there is a third bracket I did where I had Michigan advancing to the Natty. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Speaking of the Sweet 16, guess who Virginia knocked out in the Sweet 16?
I think I had watched that game. Who was it? It was
It
let me
was
see. Don't tell me.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yep, right here. They got
God
knocked out by Tennessee.
curse you, Tennessee.
Yep. Lost to a Valtard.
God damn it.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah. So the other one is Arizona and Michigan. Oh my.
That is your national championship. You talk about two really good teams. That's your true championship game right there, I think.
These are two of the best teams in this entire bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I expected three of them to make it to the Final Four. The one I did not expect was Illinois. Like, they are on the verge of completing a Cinderella story, and no one, not even me or Ballard, saw this coming. Like,
Right.
excuse me, but I'm not going to make excuses. Illinois has a chance to prove the doubters wrong. But can they do
sure.
it is the question. Ballard, what do you think?
Well, let's screen share and look at these games on an individual level. And since you brought it up, Illinois versus UConn, I guess we'll go with them first. I look at Illinois and UConn, both of these games on Saturday, national title on Monday, April 6th. We are less than a week away from all of it. Illinois and UConn, they favor, at least the matchup predictor favors Illinois, and they've been on a roll. You saw what they did to Houston. You saw what they've done the last few rounds, and they started the tournament out kind of soft, and much like anybody else, it was like, well, they're not playing the best of their competition. That's true, but so same with Alabama, same with UConn, same with Arizona and Michigan, Florida, whoever, right? Now these teams are all in the Final Four. You look at this game in particular with UConn and Illinois. UConn is straight up the better team, but Cinderella run here, I like Illinois to get it done and knock out not necessarily the defending champs, but don't forget UConn recently went back to back and got knocked out last year, I think at the Elite Eight or something. It was for a potential three-peat. But if they could win this game, if UConn gets past Illinois, I think there's a high chance that they can win a third title in 4 years, if you think about it. But what are your thoughts on it, Dominic?
Man, I'm going to be honest. This entire men's college basketball season, I've been a little too harsh on Illinois. I honestly thought they were going to get knocked down in like the second round, but god damn, I was so wrong. I was so mistaken. And like you said, UConn is straight up the better team, but Illinois has been getting hot at the right time. And we've seen that the past couple weeks. And if I'm going to be honest, this right here is their chance. Can they prove the doubters wrong and go to the national championship?
They have a chance. UConn's played some close games with Michigan State and Duke the last two games. Illinois, interestingly enough, has played some good competition. They beat up on Iowa. They beat up on Houston by 10 points. They haven't really played a close game, though. They haven't really had to have it come down to the wire. So if it comes down to a one-possession game or something, who would you take and why? I would answer first real quick and say UConn's been battle-tested, not so much Illinois. I want Illinois to win this game because I love the story. But I think Dan Hurley and the Huskies, if it's down to the wire, they either have the defense or get the shot off. They probably have been battle tested a little bit more. But what do you say to that, Dominic?
Man, good thing you brought up Dan Hurley, because he's, in my opinion, one of the greatest college basketball coaches I have ever seen. That dude knows how to win championships. And like you said, he truly is one of the best. But Illinois, on the other hand, they've been turning up. Like you said, Illinois hasn't been playing good competition for the past couple weeks.
Right.
But I feel like I got to go with Illinois, not just because I think they can have a Cinderella shot, but because I think they might be a little bit much of a fresher team than UConn, if I'm going to be honest. And not to mention the fact that they have a really lot of young talent on that squad. So that's why I think Illinois is going to win this game.
Fair enough. My pick, I think Illinois just has everything in front of them. I think UConn does too to win another title, but you think about it, man, like just because you're the better team and the better program, especially in basketball and March Madness, that doesn't always mean you're going to win. I think in a close game, I would take UConn, but I feel like Illinois in this one might get off to a hot start. Not that it won't be close in the end, but it won't be close enough to where the Huskies pull it out. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go the Fighting Illini in this one.
Yeah, and like I said, Illinois might be a little fresher than UConn in this game.
For sure. All right, we'll clip that and we'll put it up as our preview for that game. We got to preview Michigan, Arizona next. So then you look, then you turn the page to the other Final Four game, and you got Michigan and Arizona, which is like, I mean, Big 10, Big 12 right there. And you'd love to see something like that in football maybe someday. But, they go together here. Michigan, another Big 10 team. We just talked about Illinois against UConn. This is a similar game here in the Final Four, Dominic, because you have a really good, not so much a Cinderella with Michigan, but a team that is looking to make a statement in the basketball world this year. And then you got Arizona, who's trying to get over that hump, but has been at the top of their game for a while. Kind of like UConn, right? Even though they were able to win a title, they're still at the top of the game. Arizona's at the top of the game. Then you got the Big Ten teams. We talked about Illinois. We talk about Michigan, the Cinderella type stuff. Even though Michigan is a 1 seed and probably favored in this game, we're going to pull it up and look. What's your initial thoughts on this game?
Man, if this is not a version of David versus Goliath, I don't know what is. I'm going to be straight up with you for a second. This, in my opinion, is the David versus Goliath edition of March Madness. Because, listen, you have the Big Blue, Michigan, who, by the way, nearly lost to St. Louis, need I add, but they pulled it out in the end. And then you have the team I love to call the Big Desert Howlers, the Arizona Wildcats. They have proven to be the most dominant team I've seen in a long time. But Michigan's been getting hot as well. Don't forget that. Don't count out the Big Blue. And I'm going to say the same thing I said about Illinois. Michigan might be a little bit fresher than Arizona, but Arizona has been playing, honestly, their best basketball the past few weeks leading up to this Final Four match. And anything can happen in March Madness. Expect the unexpected, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. I think you got two really good teams here. You got a battle of the beast, a battle of the best, however you want to put it here, as compared to a Cinderella Illinois and just what is a juggernaut in UConn. This pick here would help determine my national title matchup pick. And I don't know. It's it's gonna be tough to it's gonna be tough to call this next one because like Michigan's at the top of their game, so is Arizona. But I feel like if anything, the popular fan pick would be Michigan because they're more focused on, but you can't always go with that. That's not
Right.
saying I'm picking Arizona though. Hold on. Arizona is the top overall seed in this bracket for a reason. And you look at these two teams, they have similar records, but Arizona up one game at 36-2 compared to 35-3 Michigan. Arizona has everything in front of them. Should be the one to win this game. That being said, go back to the other game with Illinois and UConn to make my national championship matchup pick. I got Illinois over UConn. Forget the score because it's hard to pick scores in basketball. It really is because you get so much scoring or so much defense. You never know. But I'm going to take Illinois there over UConn. And then finally, to face Illinois on Monday night's national title. And where's that being played, by the way? Do we know where that game is?
I
Where's
believe
the Natty?
I
Let me
believe
see.
it's
I'm going to look.
okay.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up. I don't have it in my notes here. Monday, April 6th will be in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. So Indy. So going to Indy, I'm going to go. My final thoughts are Illinois beating UConn in a close one. Don't get it wrong. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out or run away. But I feel like in a close game, you can trust Illinois. I'm ready to say that. I also think maybe something's going to get in UConn's head. I mean, they could be motivated to try to get back on top. That's fair. I like Illinois, though. I feel like they are motivated to finish the Cinderella story as a 3 seed. And to play Illinois, you know what? Give me Michigan. Let's go all Big Ten. Let's go all Big Ten. There's a one-game difference in record here.
Man.
One game. Hold on. One game difference in record between Arizona and Michigan. Michigan's at the top of their game with Yaxel Lindenborg and company right now, man. It's just hard to pick against them. I'm going Big Blue, and I'm going the Fighting Illini for the national title on Monday, April 6th at Lucas Oil Stadium. Let's go.
All right.
I'm changing. We had picked Arizona as our natty pick in our bracket, but the more I've seen from Michigan and everything lately, I'm throwing that out the window. The bracket's busted anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
What you think, man? Do you agree with that, or what's your natty matchup? Who are your final picks?
For me, I'm going to go with all Big Ten as well. Michigan and Illinois.
All right. Now, if you were picking favorites, it's clearly Arizona and UConn, right?
Right.
I mean, they're just unless they like the 1 seed in Michigan more. I don't know, but yeah. Now you imagine how fun UConn would be against either of those teams.
Right.
It would be fun. But Illinois, we love the Cinderella run.
Whether it's football or basketball, Cinderella runs are always an amazing thing to see.
Yeah. For sure. Man, I'm pumped up for this Final Four, man. 1.5 point spread for Illinois, and then 1.5 point spread for Michigan. They expect really close games here. If they're not close, I'm gonna riot because I want entertainment. Entertainment, baby. Let's go.
Lord have mercy.
Mhm.
Oh my god. All right. Anyways, man, I don't got much else to say.
All right. Well, thanks, Dominic.
Thanks.
All right. Love and appreciate Dominic for stopping in. We don't have too many people watching at the moment, which I could get. I know it's like a Friday. Well, no, it's a Wednesday. It feels like Friday. It's Wednesday. I hope someone else goes live tonight, but I'm kind of tired. I don't. Excuse me. I don't want to be on for too long, but yeah. Oh man. Episode 45, Christian Ballard Show. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We talked the Final Four finally. We previewed that. Got a call from Dominic. It's good. I'll be honest, I got to get some rest though. We'll try to get longer shows and more stuff planned for the channel going forward. I am recently engaged, so that's pretty cool. We're planning on an April wedding for next year in 2027. Like a year, we're planning for April 3rd, would be a Saturday. So it'd be a week from this Friday, or a year from this Friday. I'm sorry, said that wrong. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Me and my girl Madison, y'all have met her on here a little bit. So, yep, gonna be great. Looking forward to it. Got a lot to save and plan for. And got some rest to catch up on, I guess. But anyway, welcome to April. It's April, fools. Anyway, I love y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get out early. Thank you, Dominic, for calling in. I gotta get some rest, gotta get up for work tomorrow and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Love y'all. Peace out. Jesus loves you. God bless. Roll Tide. And we'll see you next time here at BSM. We'll stick around.